Hey you guys, welcome to the Console Warrior. You can call me Console, and if you're new to the channel, you must be a big Smash fan. Smash Bros. Noun. A series starring your favorite video game characters, fun gameplay, and horrible online. With the next Fighter Pass, I wanted to make my list before all the DLC were announced. Even if they were already decided, it'd be cool to see if any of them are on my list. I don't like to remind anybody this, but this is my list. If none of yours got in, that's okay. There's no objective reason to why I want the character, and you are allowed to have a different opinion. Do any of these characters need to be in Smash? No. Do any of them deserve to be? Maybe not. Am I saying it will happen? Not in the slightest. All I'm saying is, if someone wants Goku in Smash, let them. It's definitely not going to happen, but that doesn't mean they can't want it. People can have dreams, especially in something that should be taken seriously, like a video game primarily about fan service. I don't have any anime characters on here, but if I did, then I wouldn't care about what anybody says about it, no matter how obvious it won't happen. And if you don't want to watch this video because of that, too bad, I already got your view, aha! But if you have any characters you want in Smash, feel free to tell me in the comments. I don't judge, unless it's Lux from League of Legends. I can't respect you for that. My family was poor, so we didn't get a lot of video games growing up. But my dad got me this, the Super Joy 3. There's no 1 and 2. Why was Player 1 an N64 controller and Player 2 a Genesis controller? I have no idea, but it had 76,000 games in it. I just noticed the Star Wars. It had iconic games like Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, Ice Climbers, Duck Hunt, Circus Charlie, and most importantly, Contra. Contra is a game made by Konami, not related with Super Joy 3. It was a side-scroller shooter, and my number 10 spot goes to the main character, Bill Riser. And why is it not a PNG? Why do I want him? Well, I kind of needed a 10th spot. I always had so much fun with the game, and it had 2 players so my brother could enjoy. And co-op games were always a plus for me. I can even add a second player, Lance Bean, as a costume. I never got past level 2 though, but still, if Bill Riser got in Smash, that would mean I would have all the characters from my childhood in the game. I've mentioned before that I didn't grow up much with Microsoft. Most of my experience is on the Xbox 360 with my friends, and we played one of the Halo games. I never owned the game, but I think it'd be very cool to have Master Chief in Smash. Plus, there isn't enough shooters in Smash, and Halo being one of them, if not the most iconic, I thought he would be a perfect choice. Now, the only reason why he can't get in is that Banjo and Kazooie is already in Smash, so having another Microsoft rep does seem unlikely, and Banjo at least had some Nintendo history backing him up, but it'd definitely be almost as hype as Cloud. Kirby, one of Nintendo's biggest icons, and we only got 3 characters. But I guess if we can only choose the important ones, it makes sense why we only got these 3. I mean, I don't see why not choose any of Kirby's major villains, but those characters haven't been relevant in a Kirby game except Kirby Star Allies. And that wasn't really a game per se, but a library of Kirby's friends that he murdered. If I had to choose any character to add from the Kirby franchise, it would be Bandana D. I just love the cute aesthetic that Kirby has, and Waddle Dee is one of my favorite enemies. Bandana D is a very popular request for Smash, and he first debuted in the minigame from Kirby Superstar, and later became a joke boss in the remake Kirby Superstar Ultra. But then he got the biggest handjob of his life and became one of the strongest characters in Dreamland, and for the longest while, that's all I known him for, and I still wanted him in Smash. I have to admit though, now that I've played Kirby Return to Dreamland, he hasn't done anything that Meta Knight and King Dedede has done to make him stand out yet, especially since there was a whole anime that fully explored their characters. He basically became the 4th main character of the series and has been more of a sidekick for Kirby. I hope to see more of him in the future and possibly get more into the Kirby franchise as well. Maybe then I could put him higher on this list. Originally, I was going to add Lawrence Hellman Glosser from Fire Emblem 3 Houses on my list as a joke, but since Byleth is now in Smash, I feel like it wouldn't be that funny. However, since we are talking about Lance characters or Spirit characters, let's talk about Aerith. Aerith, Eros, whatever you call her, I've mentioned in my video on Final Fantasy VII Part 1 that she's my favorite character so far, and I think she would be a great addition to Smash. Her weapon of choice would be her staff, a weapon that we don't have represented at all, and kind of like Zelda, she could be a magic user based around materia. Excluding summons, the representation of materia, arguably one of the most important objects in the game, isn't used in Smash. Giving it to Eros would help represent the game more, and I think it fit her best. Although, I recommend choosing carefully on what material is chosen. I swear, if I get another PK Fire move, I'm gonna break my limit. Also, if you haven't yet, you can watch my video about Final Fantasy VII Part 1 after the end of the video or in the bottom of the description. You know what we need? More Sonic characters, we only have one. What is this? The most requested characters seem to be Shadow and Knuckles, and this is heavily speculated since they were added as assist trophies. I'm honestly surprised they are still popular since the only thing keeping them alive are memes, but a character I want to see in Smash is Dr. Eggman. Dr. Eggman, originally known as Robotnik, debuted in the Sonic franchise since day one, and is one of the most iconic villains in video game history. Smash Ultimate got a nice amount of baddie representatives, and there is no shame in adding one more. What makes him such a unique antagonist is that he can be a silly character or a threatening one depending on the situation. He's a character who has been made a fool by Sonic time and time again. But don't let that loser streak fool you, he is not someone you want to underestimate. He always has a backup plan, like the time when you defeat Mecha Sonic, he pulls out the Death Egg robot just to ruin your game. Or how about the time when Perfect Chaos betrayed him, he had a second egg carrier after the first one was destroyed. Or when Chaos failed him, he had a missile to destroy Station Square, and when that failed...
You fool. Away, before I make mincemeat out of you.
He has tricked Sonic and friends time and time again. When you think he's done, he's ready to pull out more tricks up his sleeve. Heck, he might even have tricks up your sleeve.
Once again, you fools have been tricked.
It's a fake?
It's not that Sonic is dumb, it's just that this guy is freaking smart. He has an IQ of 300, that's higher than Einstein. And the fact that Sonic is able to beat him every time just makes him that much cooler. Dr. Eggman might seem like a joke now, but he's definitely going to have something ready in the back, and that makes him unpredictable. You never know what plan he has next. Dr. Eggman is a great villain, and although he might seem watered down nowadays, he's still treated better than most Sonic characters. He deserves to be in Smash, and I hope that Nintendo realizes that. Women in video games nowadays are well appreciated by the gaming community. A personal issue of mine is that a lot of my favorite characters aren't female, even most of my mains are male. A female character that I would want to see in Smash is Crystal from Star Fox. I might not be super hardcore to the series like Mario and Sonic, but I'm a Star Fox fan who's enjoyed most of the small library of games there is. Crystal is a popular character in the Star Fox fanbase. In fact, she's one of the most wanted females since Brawl. Star Fox characters are some of my favorites from Nintendo, but I wouldn't say they had much competition. Although not necessarily new from this list, what makes her stand out from the other Star Fox characters who use guns is her staff. Unfortunately, her chances seem very unlikely. She's not that popular anymore, and I hate to admit it, but Star Fox isn't that relevant of a series like the Kirby franchise. Having another character might not happen. It just seems like the franchise deserves the reputation it has now. With the next DLC fighter being confirmed from ARMS, there's a possibility that it might be Springman. He is already in the game as an assist trophy, but clearly he was shown along with the rest of the ARMS cast. This further proves that assist trophy characters still have a chance. Why would they add him there if that wasn't the case? To me, I haven't seen a reason to believe that assist trophies aren't impossible, but I do understand the chances are slim. It has been stated that Fighter Pass 1 was going to be characters that weren't already represented in the game, and all of that was true. But we can't be sure if those rules apply for Fighter Pass 2. If we were to get the first assist trophy added in the game though, Springman would be pretty disappointing. I've never played it of course, but hearing the game didn't sell well, I wouldn't imagine many people would be excited either. Honestly, if I were to add an assist trophy, it would be Waluigi. As a Mario fan, I'm pretty content with the Mario characters that we got. We already have a lot of characters after all. To be honest, I don't even need Waluigi in Smash personally. I do like the character, but he's not my favorite. No, I want him just for the pure hype. He is undeniably the most requested character in Smash. If anything, he became more popular because of it, if not more hated. Brawl was the first game to have third-party characters. Seeing Snake and Sonic appear in Smash was some of the most exciting things to happen. We finally got confirmation for third-party characters, something that seemed very unlikely at the time. But now we have tons of third-party characters. It's still hype, but it's strange to feel almost any video game character can join the roster. Crash freaking Bandicoot. We already have Cloud, another PlayStation character, but Crash originated as the unofficial Sony mascot. I mean, he certainly was marketed as one, but I digress. Like Sonic, Crash went third party and has been on many Nintendo consoles since then. He fits the Nintendo family pretty well in my opinion. If all honesty, his chances seem better than Cloud's, and he's been in 2 Smash games. Despite that, his relationship is still pretty big with Sony, and even though Square does too, that might as well be the reason why he can't be in Smash. I'm just saying, Cloud just got lucky. He is one of my childhood characters, and the last third-party gaming icon that isn't in Smash, so adding him would make the roster feel complete. The Sonic series is known to have a lot of characters, and one issue I have with them is that most of their moves are heavily based on Sonic. We got Red Sonic, Pink Sonic, Dark Sonic, Girl Sonic, Robot Sonic, Boob Sonic. Don't get me wrong, characters like Silver or Knuckles are pretty unique compared to the rest of the cast, but most of the time they take huge inspiration from the OG. It's kinda why I want Dr. Eggman in Smash. Not only does he stand out by a lot, but he would stand out from the Smash roster too. After all, not many use machinery or some sort of large mech to fight. The character I want in my number 2 spot is Tails. I remember in Melee there was a leak that Sonic and Tails were unlocked if you KO'd 100 fighters in Cruel Smash. We were really gullible back then, were we? Like the other Sonic characters, Tails is in a similar position. Originally, he was introduced as a second Sonic, but as time went on, he changed enough to make him different from the blue blur. His tails are his defining features, and I think a moveset based around that would make him unique. I do see some moves borrowed from Sonic, like the Spin Dash, but I can't see Tails working as an Echo Fighter. Just by looking at Tails, do the splits look like an attack that he would do? Sonic's moveset is way too acrobatic to the more chunky looking and tech focused Fox that we know. Shadow has tons of abilities that can make him an original fighter, but he would work better as an Echo than Tails because Sonic's moveset feels like something Shadow can have. His gadgets can also make him stand out, but my idea of Tails is more about being the little brother. It's what I like most about his character, like in Sonic 2. He tries to copy him because he wants to be like his role model. Even in Sonic Adventure, his character development was about learning to deal with problems his own way. If you were the younger brother, odds are you were the second player. I was Sonic growing up, so my brother was stuck playing as a two-tailed fox. Playing Sonic 2 or 3 with each other has given me an experience I don't always have today. In fact, before Sonic Mania gave us that chance again, I hope to regain that experience in Smash 4. If both Sonic and Tails were in Smash, it would not only make that fake leak from Melee a reality, but it would mean I could relive those days with my brother in my favorite game.
Win!
We got tall Knuckles, skinny Knuckles, small Knuckles, wide Knuckles, big Knuckles. Oh man.